ARPANET, Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, was the initial name for the Internet, which was created by the U.S. Department of Defense. Leonard Kleinrock is usually given credit for the original notion that evolved into the World Wide Web. In 1961, he published Information Flow in Large Communication Nets, a paper about ARPANET, the precursor to the Internet. Kleinrock, along with other trailblazers like J.C.R. Licklider, the first head of the Information Processing Technology Office (IPTO), laid the groundwork for the daily flood of emails, media, Facebook posts, and tweets that we see today. So, here's a quick rundown of the Internet's history. The precursor to the Internet was launched in the early days of computing history in 1969 with the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network of the United States Defense Department, ARPANET. Many of the protocols used for Internet communication today were invented by ARPA-funded researchers. New Holland was the initial name for Australia. The original European name for mainland Australia was New Holland, Dutch, Neo-Holland. Abel Tasman, a Dutch seafarer, was the first to call Australia by such name in 1644. Though the coastline of the continent had not yet been fully explored, the name came to be applied to the entire southern land, or Terra Australis. However, after the British settlement in Sydney in 1788, the territory to the east of the continent claimed by Britain was named New South Wales, while the western part was named New Holland, until at least the mid-1850s. New Holland was used semi-officially and in common usage as the term for the entire continent. The Dutch seafarer Abel Tasman, best known for his discovery of Tasmania, dubbed Van Diemen's Land by him, initially applied the term New Holland to the western and north coasts of Australia in 1644. In his accounts of his two excursions there, English Captain William Dampier used the name, the first landing on 5 January 1688 and staying until March 12. His second voyage of exploration to the region was in 1699. The Netherlands and the Dutch East India Company did not claim any territory in Australia as their own, except from giving the country its name. Despite the fact that many Dutch expeditions visited the shore in the 200 years following the first Dutch visit in 1606, no permanent colony was attempted. The apparent lack of water and fertile soil made the location unfit for colonization, according to most of the explorers of the time. For several decades after British settlement, the name New Holland was kept, and the South Polar continent was referred to as Terra Australis, or Australia. However, colonial authorities progressively removed the Dutch name off the island continent in the 19th century, and instead of adopting a new name, they adopted the name Australia from the South Polar continent, leaving an 80-year void in continental naming. Despite this, the name New Holland endured for decades, appearing in atlases, literature, and everyday speech. Tennis was invented as a bare-handed sport. The history of tennis is a fascinating topic. Tennis originated in France in the 12th century, according to historians. Tennis has always been a game of hitting a ball back and forth since that time. The game was originally played with only your hands. The ball was actually struck with the palm of your hand. Leather is commonly used to create balls. In France, the game was known as Jeu de Paume, Game of the Palm, during the time. Tennis, as we know it today, originated in Great Britain in the late 1800s. It was primarily a game for the upper class at the time, and it took a long time for it to spread throughout the world. Tennis is now practiced recreationally by people from different socioeconomic backgrounds all around the world. A racket and a ball are all you'll need to get started. Mona Lisa took Leonardo da Vinci 10 years to complete. The Mona Lisa is a half-length portrait painting by Leonardo da Vinci, characterized as the most known, most visited, most written about, most sung about, and most parodied work of art in the world. Mona Lisa is also one of the world's most valuable paintings, at $100 million in 1962. It holds the Guinness World Record for the highest known insurance valuation in history. Many believe the picture is a portrait of Lisa Gherardini, Francesco del Giocondo's wife, and it is painted in oil on a white Lombardy poplar panel. It was formerly thought to have been painted between 1503 and 1506. However, Leonardo may have worked on it until 1517. Recent scholarly research shows that it was not launched until 1513. Since 1797, it has been on permanent exhibit in the Louvre Museum in Paris, where it was purchased by King Francis I of France and is currently the property of the French Republic. The mysterious expression of the topic, the monumentality of the composition, the delicate modeling of shapes, and the atmospheric illusionism were all unique features that led to the work's continued appeal and study. Leonardo agreed to paint, for Francesco del Giocondo, the portrait of Mona Lisa, his wife, writes Renaissance art historian Giorgio Vasari. Mona is an Italian term for Madonna, which is equivalent to ma'am, madam, or my lady in English. This was shortened to Madonna and Mona. Although the painting's title is typically written Mona, as used by Vasari, it is also often spelled Mona Lisa in modern Italian, Mona being a vulgarity in various Italian dialects, but this is uncommon in English. Vasari's description of the Mona Lisa comes from his biography of Leonardo da Vinci, which was published 31 years after the artist's death in 1550. It has long been the most well-known source of information about the work's provenance and the sitter's identity. Sala, Leonardo's helper, had a picture titled La Gioconda, a painting gifted to him by Leonardo, when he died in 1524. Leonardo agreed to paint, for Francesco del Giocondo, the portrait of Mona Lisa, his wife, writes Renaissance art historian Giorgio Vasari. Mona is an Italian term for Madonna, which is equivalent to ma'am, madam, or my lady in English. This was shortened to Madonna and Mona. Although the painting's title is typically written Mona, as used by Vasari, it is also often spelled Mona Lisa in modern Italian, Mona being a vulgarity in various Italian dialects, but this is uncommon in English.